sounds good.
All right. Hi, I'm Brandy. This is Hound Dog Hollow, and today we have a very special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Alyson. I'm the creator of the Just a Phase Moon Planner, and I'm really excited to be talking with my star twin today.
Yay! I'm so happy you're here. We were just looking at astrology books, and we'll circle back to that. But first, I think we have one person here. I'm not sure. They'll trickle in, and then they'll actually let me look at the comments. So I just made it on the comments, and then we'll both respond to them here pretty quickly. What was just really quick before you move on, what was the second one that you had?
Oh, the second book, Astrological Transits.
Oh, I want that one. That one's definitely on my list because I've always done psychological astrology, like what is going on with me, but I'm really wanting to know, like, where is everything going?
Yeah. And being able to look at today's chart and understand how it affects you, other than feeling everything, having a Pisces rising.
Is it April Elliott Kent?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to add it to my list. Okay, so I'm going to start with some basic questions. What was your inspiration for the Just a Phase planner? And I have my original copy here.
Honestly, I think Spirit was just pushing me to do this. It started out, I had this other idea for another project, and I was trying to map it out in just a regular planner. And I was just like, I'm so sick of starting things on the first of the month because I just don't live my life that way. I go by the moon cycle. I start projects on the new moon. I celebrate things on the full moon. I wrap things up on the last quarter. And it's like, I couldn't, just the way my brain works, I just couldn't do that with a regular planner. And I was like, well, let me just make my own planner. Maybe I can just design something, print it really quick for myself just for this specific project. And once I started doing that, it just snowballed. And I was like, I honestly think that I channeled some of it because I read some of it and I'm like, I don't remember writing that. I don't remember doing that. So what started out as helping me plan something, and then it just snowballed into this.
Yay, that's the second one. So this is the first one. It was 6 months, and this is the second half, another 6 months, correct?
Yep.
Or 6 cycles. We're going through 6 lunar cycles.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I will eventually, 2022 will be the whole year, but we'll see.
Oh, nice. That's exciting. So I'm just going to kind of glance through here and ask you some questions about it. I love the little entryway. That's honestly the first thing that I noticed was that we are star twins.
Yeah. There is another person in the Just a Phase group that has the same combination, but I think she was Leo rising, Aquarius sun, and Pisces moon or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So similar big three.
Right.
Moon phase restaurant. I like your references. I myself use the moon calendar AstroSeek. I used to use one called Lunarium, but they kind of quit. Do you recommend any particular ones for people who are going to be kind of syncing up their actual place with your calendar?
I use the Deluxe Moon app, and I just check that every day because you can set it to your time zone. So if you're not on the East Coast, which you're on the West Coast, it's just, I like to have the exact time because it's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm. I like this too. This is a really nice part that I really enjoy because it's a nice place to have all your intentions lined up in one.
It's great to go back even a year or two later and see that you are currently living in the manifestation of something that you set an intention a year ago.
That's pretty cool. I love that.
You may have forgotten, and then all of a sudden it's here, and you're like, "Whoa, I did that!" It's validating.
It is, and I like this that you have traditional calendars so that people can look. I love that. Let me find one that's, because I kind of fold the pages so I know exactly where I'm at. Just go open it really quick, which I don't do with books. Only planners. You don't bend books. But this is an example of the older one. Where's my new one? Because I think you changed the layout a little bit.
I know, and I thought you were going to hate it.
This is the new one. Which, by the way, I will be giving away a free copy to people participating today. I actually like that. I like that a lot. It's very clean, if that makes sense.
Good, yeah. I was worried that you needed more space to write in the blocks. Is that what you were saying?
I do need more space to write in the blocks. So this is I ended up going back to like writing my task in my bullet journal, but using this to set out the plan for the week, if that makes sense. So I love this page. I love the year at a glance. I love the calendars. I think it's really helpful that way. Ooh, and I love the way you put the dates for the intentions. So like if you're looking back, I love that. The moon information is super nice to have just a quick reference in your book, guys. That's really great. I love that. I love the period stuff. But that could be a whole nother live we should talk about.
It could, for sure.
Because even just as like medically, I feel like most people that I talk to in a medical setting are not really aware of their cycle, which is a little bit sad.
I've just within the last year, I've come across people whose cycles have really fluctuated within the last year. And it's kind of strange. Like, why? Is it stress? Is it like, what is it? Everything.
I mean, our lives changed so dramatically last year. Yeah. Do you think it was the change?
I think it's a combination of things. And yeah.
I love this part that you put in, Alyson. I love that. I love the art. I love the information. What I really like about your planner is that everything that you need to make an intention and to like jog your memory about what you should be doing in this lunar cycle is right here. You're going to take your personal interpretations and what you need out of it and make it your own. But the information, the general information is there in one place and very concise. And I really appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm really glad that you feel that way, because that was my intention, to give basic information and the keywords that keywords help you unlock your own definition of something. And that's the whole thing about this, is figuring out how you relate to the moon cycles, not how I relate. I mean, I'm sharing how I relate, but figuring out how you relate to it also.
This is a weekly layout. And then one of my favorite things, it's probably the biggest use that I use for it, is I refer to it every single SBAT. And just kind of like, it's part of my preparing for an SBAT, is just like looking up what people are saying, what do people suggest you work on or look at or think about, and then make my own plan from there. I use it as a jumping off point. So I love it.
Because I don't want people to skip things like that because they feel like they have to do this elaborate ceremony. It's like you can light a candle on your nightstand and have it be just as magical as a big bonfire with a group of people. It's magical for you.
Yeah. And like that really speaks to one of the things that I always advocate for here on the channel. And it's just like, it's better to do something than nothing. It's better to do something half-assed than to wait for perfection.
Right. Yeah, I love that you say
that. Which I think for especially people who are neurodivergent or who are having like depression or anxiety, it's better to just do something than to be paralyzed by that desire to be perfect.
I suffer from anxiety and depression on a regular basis, and I am a full advocate of just being kind to yourself, and making it through the day is an accomplishment. Getting out of bed is an accomplishment.
Yes, absolutely. That is, I 100% agree. Hi, Stephanie. It is a great concept. I actually saw this on your Kickstarter. That's how I
Yeah.
came
And
across
so
religion.
that's how I found your channel, because you sent me a little message that you were gonna review it. And then
Oh,
when I first saw your channel, before knowing that we were star twins, I was like, we are like, I feel like you are living the life that I could totally picture myself living if I had done things just a little bit differently in my life. Like I can totally relate to you having all the animals and the land, and I mean, we have a lot of similarities even before I knew why that was.
yes. I I definitely, our charts are very, very similar. Um, do you have any actually, let's keep on this thing until I want to go to our charts, but I want to give you a chance to say anything about this planner that you want us to know as a creatrix. What do you
Um,
want us to know?
well, if you purchase it today and use this code Hollow20, you get 20% off, and I will pick one person that purchases today to add on these candles. They're handmade, hand-rolled beeswax candles, and the colors correspond to every new and full moon for the planner. And one of the reasons I mean I love these candles. Um, it's the easiest thing to do is to just light a candle on the new moon, say a little prayer, set an intention, um, breathe for 5 minutes. I mean, it's the easiest thing that you can do. Jot it
Mm-hmm.
down in your planner, and you did it. Like you're following the moon. It's easy. I want it to be easy. I know life is hard right now, and I know people are struggling, and I know there's a lot of pressure and our lives are changing, and it's just taking 5 minutes to light a candle and just be with yourself. That's all that I want people to get out of this, if anything.
Oh, I've got to share some things. I'm going to add it to the description, but Alyson also has a Just a Face Planner Facebook page, and she does weekly card pulls, which are really, really accurate and just one of my favorite parts of the week. And you also have several Instagrams. Which one do you want them to check out?
Well, the Just a Face Planner. The Lazy Herbalist is I'm a massage therapist, and I own my own mobile massage business.
Nice.
The Lazy Herbalist was before I was a massage therapist, I was an herbalist. So it was all about my wild crafting. And so I've kind of taken herbalist, transformed that into massage, and massage transformed into cycles. So I'm trying to marry all of these things together in my own weird, unique way.
More holistic wellness.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Stephanie has a question for you. Can you see the comments?
Let me see. Oh, yeah. Phase 2. Yes. Yeah. So phase 1 was January through the end of May, and then phase 2 is June through December. And it's a really good time to start using the planner because the new moon is closely getting closer. It's getting closer to the first of the month. So January 1st, 2022 or January 2nd, 2022 is the new moon for 2022.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So it's going to be easier to like start getting your life into that cycle because it's so closely related to what you're used to doing, starting things on the first of the month.
Awesome. Awesome. So Stephanie's going to do that. And just so you guys know, there is a giveaway today. She wrapped it so pretty. I love that. So pretty. I always think that I'm going to do that, and then I get lazy at the last second.
You did your unboxing of your wax seals like 2 weeks after I had gotten my wax seal just for the Just a Face. I was like, we are like the same person.
Yeah, I love those wax seals, but I'm like, okay, I have been consistently using it. But so when I write my intention for the new moon, I seal it with a wax seal and I put it in a box.
I love that.
Yes, and then when the full moon comes around, I open it and see how I did.
I love that so much.
Yeah. So the new moon in Aries, I write an intention, I close it, and when the full moon happens in Aries in September, late September, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Then I'm gonna open it and see how I did.
I love that. I'm gonna start doing that.
It's my favorite. And it comes with this. It comes with a cute little pin. It comes with tabs for ease of use to find the pages that you need. It's got a little sticker. It's got these cute little moon guys. Very cute. It comes with all of this. Very, very nice. So, as always, so this one is going to be probably you're going to like, you're going to comment, and I need to be able to see that you're subscribed to my page and to Alyson's page to be entered to win. And so let me get the link. I will add all the links to the description. Or Alyson, what do you have your YouTube handle? Let me see here. I'm gonna find it too. And if you guys have any questions, please ask. Alyson is here to answer any questions you may have about her planner.
Thank you all for being here. So it looks like I can only private chat with you.
Oh, you can't use the comments?
I can see the comments, but there's no
weird
place to type. But then the private chat says chat with the host and other guests. So maybe you'll see it also.
I will try, and I don't know why it's not letting you. That's weird.
Did that go to you, or did that just go to everybody?
It went to me, but I'm going to take it and add it.
I don't have my YouTube handle, but I'm
trying to pull it up too.
I'm afraid if I go there, it'll start talking at us.
I know. That's why I'm like, oh. It's the same thing I was thinking. I was like, oh, no, I don't want to have, because sometimes if you have like what they consider a noise that's copyrighted, they'll shut this whole thing down.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really annoying. Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
So the weekly spreads have a place to pick a weekly card, and if you don't have a deck or don't do that weekly, that's why I pull them for you every Monday. But I encourage you to get a deck because they're amazing. And oracle decks are easy to learn if you're intimidated by the tarot.
Absolutely, I agree. I feel like it's they're a little more gentle, but they can also be topic specific. So I also like a lot of moon decks too for that exact purpose. There we go. How do I share? Copy link. Yeah.
All right, folks.
Oh no, don't make noise. Here we go. Okay, so we have both of those there. So you're still kind of gauging if you're going to have them together for the next year, or how that's gonna.
Yeah.
That would be
worried
cool.
It'll just be too big and heavy to like carry, and I like to carry mine with me everywhere. So we'll see.
That's smart. And definitely practicality is really important.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about our charts now?
Yeah. So I was.
Oh, Stephanie, yay.
I was looking to see how common it is to have a similar chart, because even some twins don't have a similar chart because the rising sign is changing every 4 minutes. So, and to be in different locations. Like if we were born in the same hospital on the same day, like of course that makes sense. But I think it's so fascinating that we were born on opposite ends of the country on different days, on different years. It just blows my mind.
And it still came out right. All right, I've got my life here, my little planner, my what do you call it? My chart right here.
Even the degrees are very similar, like within a couple degrees of each other for some of the things.
Do you use whole sign or do you use Placidus?
I do whole sign.
Okay. I'm kind of like, so I get mine drawn up at Cafe Astrology, which uses Placidus, which is supposedly the most common. And so I have intercepted houses. But whole sign doesn't allow for intercepted houses.
Right.
Yeah. So Chani, the app that you recommended on Just a Face, which I downloaded and I love, they do whole sign, don't they?
Yep.
Yep, because nothing's intercepted.
I think at astro.com you can select which one you want. But yeah, there were some differing houses.
I would love to learn more about that. I'm going to write that down. Like the different, why you would use different.
Yeah, I mean, I just use whole sign because I love her stuff so much. And she explains it and breaks it down really easily. And she also uses keywords, kind of like if you printed out all the stuff that came with your chart, she uses keywords for the sign, the planet, and the house. And I just love keywords.
Yeah. There's also one that my friend Rochelle has been learning, Amethyst Ascension, and it's like real sign, like actually where I don't know how to explain it really well, but it's called real sign astrology. I think that it means, so traditionally we say like, oh, Gemini is right here, but actually as the world has gone through time, it doesn't really actually is not in the sky above us anymore at the right time. Does that make sense? But I haven't really dived into it. It's real sign astrology. She did a thing on it. We were going to talk about it in our live, but I think she was sick or I was sick. Oh no, my father-in-law was sick. And so we didn't make it. What are we on? We're on Monday. Sorry, I always write all my notes by the day. I'm such a nerd. Perfect. So my Leo sun is 19 degrees. What's yours? 19 degrees, 38 inches?
29. So that one's a little off.
How about your Aquarius? Mine's 25.
22.
Wow, that is close. Yeah. So conjunction. If it's within 6, we were in conjunction. Exactly, right?
Right.
And then rising. Mine is 23 at Pisces.
I'm 4. So that one was very different.
I mean, but really 4 minutes. It's got 4 minutes to go the whole 30 degrees.
Right.
It's going really fast.
So, I mean, how do you relate to your sun sign?
When I was younger, and less secure in myself as a person, it was sometimes hard for me to see the Leo aspects of myself, except for the loyal. I'm loyal to a fault, and I always have been. And I tend towards being generous. I've always loved attention and flattery, but I didn't feel like very proud and very like being out there and being a leader. I was just very self-conscious, and I feel like I've definitely grown into those things now that I'm an older person and I have more self-worth. But I feel like initially I always thought of Leos as like just so like superstars. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I always felt like not quite.
I felt the exact same way, and even just felt like a lot of pressure. Like when people would find out that I was a Leo, they'd expect like, oh God, here we go. She's going to be selfish and over the top and just like, I didn't relate to it at all. And I wanted to bring this up because I feel like if a lot of people, if they read their sun horoscope and don't relate to it, or that they research their sign and don't relate to it, I do feel like it's something that you grow into. It's not
Mhm.
something that, I think it's like all the obstacles that you overcome ends up like you end up being this person, this sun person.
Exactly. Let me pull up on to that note really quick. I want to. It's kind of covered in this book, Astrology for Yourself. In the concept that like if you are using this energy poorly, it's going to look like this, but if you're using this energy to the best of its ability, it's going to look like this. Like, so that's what I feel like when we don't really mesh with that sign, we may not be harnessing the energy that that zodiac sign provides to the best of its ability, if that makes any sense.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to get that book.
So let's see. Let's look at our Leo. Our Leo, if we have an unskillful application of the energy of Leo, it's prideful, self-centered, vain, selfish, bombastic, overbearing, conceited, stubborn, dictatorial. Oh, I was always bossy. Domineering, haughty, arrogant, pompous, patronizing, aristocratic, grandiose, snobbish, superiority complex, childish, egocentric, possessive, demands to be the center of attention, melodramatic, extravagant, spendthrift, flirtatious, heartbreaker, tease, doubts their own creative abilities. Because that's another major part of Leo is creation, right?
Yeah.
But when you're skillfully applying it, you're self-assured, you're self-confident, powerful, you feel authoritative, radiant, commanding, impressive, majestic, dignified, noble, honorable, regal, royal, proud, loyal, brave, creative, loving, giving, warm, big-hearted, generous. So I feel like if you don't identify with your sign right away, maybe it's exactly what you were saying. Something that you have to grow with, something that you have to learn to harness.
Yeah.
But I love that you mentioned that.
Overcome those negative traits and look at yourself and look at your shadow and, oh, I'm being egotistical right now. And growing from that experience.
Exactly. What do you think about our Aquarius moon? Because that one's always, I feel like either fighting my sun or egging it on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I do feel like internally I just fight with myself. I'm like, you need to be confident and go do this. And Aquarius is like, no, we can just like read about it and journal about it and it's fine.
Definitely that. I do agree.
I feel like quarantine, I had to shut my business down for 4 months last year. And I felt like being stuck at home made my Aquarius side come out more because I wasn't around people. I didn't have to put on this show. I was just like I felt more like myself in quarantine.
I do feel like a lot. So not the best parts of myself, but a lot of the parts of myself that I admire about myself are a part of the Aquarius, like idealism, like altruism, like
Humanitarianism.
Yeah, those are big things. But I feel like I wasn't able to effectively harness those energies until I really was able to step into my own as a Leo and just say, like, I believe in these things and now I'm going to lead in this way. Which I think that's when they egg each other on in the best possible way.
So one of my favorite quotes is to live the life you've imagined. I think my Aquarius side is like, why is the world like it the way it is, like, and not doing anything about it. But it's like we have to be the change we want to see in the world. We have to, and we're in the age of Aquarius, so we're all the way. We're coming through.
And I think that's kind of the downfall with Aquarius. Aquarius is not as powerful without some kind of, I believe, best is a fire sign, but some kind of sign to put that energy and those thoughts out. Otherwise, they'll just sit with themselves thinking about how superior they are to everybody else, how woke they are. And lament the state of the world.
And then I feel like Pisces comes in to snap Aquarius back into your body and because you feel everything and it's hard and it's sad and it's difficult and it's like you can't be stuck there. You do have to do something to change it.
Exactly. And I think it's also the part of myself that's the most vulnerable, which unfortunately is the part that I show because it's the most visible part of yourself out there a lot of the times. But it's also that vulnerable part of myself that's just like really in my feelers, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. I can just get so overwhelmed and emotional and then realize that it's like somebody I walked by that was having a bad day.
Oh yeah.
Everything's fine. I just have to talk myself down. Otherwise I just get underwater.
That is the other part with Pisces. Is like if I go too far down that sad road, I have a hard time getting out. I get sucked right down, and then I'm stuck in despair.
Yeah. I'm dramatic about it because it's Leo.
I'm dramatic about it, yeah. Just wailing on my bed.
Oh my!
I know. Oh my gosh! Have you seen Inside Out, the Pixar movie?
Yes.
So Leo's the little happy joy person, and Aquarius to me is the green person, and then Pisces is the little blue one. And they're all fighting all the time.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, my son, he calls it the feelings movie.
All the feels.
So where does our charts diverge? How's your Mercury?
We have the same Mercury, I believe. I have Mercury in Gemini.
My Mercury's in Virgo.
Oh, Virgo. Sorry.
Our nodes are in Gemini, though. Gemini and Sag, I believe.
Nodes are Gemini. Where did I have? We only had two. Oh, Mars and what was the other one? Mars and we had like two things that were different.
Hi guys, for the people who are coming in, this is Alyson. We're talking about our shared charts now, but also she has a planner, just a phase planner. I bought an extra copy to give away to a lucky subscriber. You need to like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels, and you'll be entered to win this just a phase planner, which I will have to probably priority mail to you because I want you to be able to use it with this next new moon, which is when it starts. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Her YouTube link is in the comments, and obviously this is my channel.
So it's Mars and Saturn that we have different.
So we have the same Mercury, so the same communication, the same love styles. My Mars is Scorpio. I can be vindictive in me.
Is Leo, and I don't have any Scorpio.
Oh wow!
So I was watching your channel the other day when you were talking about the things coming to your shop with your animals and your bones, and I was like, oh, she's got Scorpio in her chart, and that was before I looked at our charts. And I was like, yep, there's the Scorpio.
I'm married to a Scorpio too, so he will humor me and I'll be like, oh, there's a dead raccoon, come get it. He'll come in the truck and come take it home. And we're trying a different decomposing method this time because it's just, we would bury them in the yard and then he would forget where he buried them. So like now we have just a little graveyard of roadkill. And so it's like, okay, well, at least they have a place not on the highway to rest in peace and their bodies didn't get mutilated to shit, which is awful. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to utilize the parts respectfully, and now they're just lost into the... So same. What's yours? Yours is Leo.
Yeah, Leo. And it's 100% true because when I get angry, I have to yell and I have to scream. And because it's combined, I think because it's combined with the Leo sun. Because I know people who have Mars and Leo and they don't get angry and dramatic about it. It's Leo and Mars is more like, if you're not loyal to them or if you're not respectful to them, you better get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you disrespect somebody that they love,
yeah,
and are loyal to. But I think combined with the Leo sun, I just have to yell and scream and throw things, and then I'm okay. I'm fine.
that's nice because I'm not that bad. I won't hold a grudge until the day I die. I try never to get there for that exact reason. Also, I'm vengeful. Like it's not my highest moment. If I were to pull this book up and be like vengeance, vindictive, not good use of the energy, and it's just like mind your business book. It does. It says vindictive, revengeful, cruel.
Watch out for Scorpio.
I know, right? What's the other one we different? So our Jupiter is Capricorn, which is really interesting because they're opposites. So whereas Jupiter is the planet of expansion, Capricorn is the planet of limits.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever struggle with that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very hard on myself and
Mm-hmm.
won't allow myself to do anything fun unless I get XXX done or check it
Or
off.
even sometimes take chances where it's just like, no chances. Let's
Yeah.
not do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your Saturn?
So Saturn is Libra for me.
Oh, it's Scorpio for me too. God bless it.
But see, with Libra, I'm able to balance it where if I get all of these things done, then I can have fun.
And I think that's a really good thing because Saturn's also like the father figure and the the reputation, the outside face of the home, right? And so Libra's a really good placement there because Libra's aesthetically beautiful, fair, just, good with people and partnerships. So that's a really nice placement. Mine is Scorpio. Again. I'm not quite sure what that says about me. Hi, Betwixt and Between. You're not too late. Oh, let me just catch you up. So Alyson here makes this wonderful planner called the Just a Phase Planner. We have talked briefly about it and just like how it's laid out and what brought her to create that. And then I actually have one to give away on my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels. Her channel is in the link in the comments. And I'll be giving away. And then the code on the bottom is for whoever doesn't win. She is offering a code for you guys to have a discount. And I think one lucky person will win a candle set. Oh, thank you, dear.
Here are the candle sets.
And then go ahead.
And use the code. This is the candle set that I will pick for. I'll just put it in your package and you'll be surprised.
And then we're actually star twins, meaning that we almost every one of our placements in our chart, except for Mars and Saturn, are the same. Even though we were not born on the same side of the country and not in the same year or anything, we are still star twins. We were just reviewing that. If you guys have any questions about astrology, we're both kind of astrology nerds. I would not say that we're professionals. I'm not a professional. But Alyson, you do create something for people to consume. So that's more professional than me. So if you have a question, we have our books here. We're going to do recommendations after we review our charts. So it'll be a fun time. Please give us any questions you have. What do you think, though, about the Saturn in Scorpio? Intensity.
Yeah, intensity. But like, do you feel like you restrict yourself in a kind of roundabout way?
Yeah. Yeah. In a sneaky way.
Right.
So like I think that procrastination and perfectionism are the same side of the coin that kind of restrict you from doing the things that you want. And that's why I advocate so heavily for just do it. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter if it's garbage, at least you did something.
Yeah.
Because I'm like that. I get paralyzed by not wanting to mess up. Then our Uranus, but the generational ones, they're more common that we would have them all.
Right, yeah.
So Jupiter's every 12. Every 12 years.
My piece of paper that had all of the orbits and stuff on it.
I want to say Saturn's every 29. Uranus is every 84.
Yeah.
And then I forgot Pluto, but it's some ungodly number. It's like not going to change. It might.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's going to change in our lifetime, is it? What degree is it in? It just changed in our lifetime, so it's probably not going to do it again.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about all of those being clumped in the 10th house?
It makes sense to me. I am like I do want to be okay, so my career obviously is very important to me, and it's a career where both in nursing, I am. Oh, you're a Leo Sun, Aquarius Moon, and Leo Rising. Oh my God, you took the twins. You're our star twin too. Oh no, Leo almost. Pisces rising is what we are, but Leo rising, that's still pretty close. Leo Sun and Aquarius Moon.
Ooh, you were born on a lunar eclipse.
Oh my gosh. So the Leo rising is my sun. You've got a lot of Leo. I bet your loved ones just have to really give it to you. That's pretty cool.
Do you know what your Mars is? That'd be a lot.
That would be it. Yeah, that would be a lot.
Leo.
I wonder if she has a stellium there. Because we have a stellium in Virgo, or does it, because you do the whole sign and I do Placidus, do we still have if in the whole sign system, do we still have a stellium in Virgo?
I think so. Because I have Astros next to Channy's, and I think this one was in Placidus. Yeah. So it's still Virgo. I mean,
they clump right there in that section.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole top of our chart, we're outside people. Like we're other people-centered people and not inside-centered people. Does that make sense? Because all of our stuff is on the top half. Which, to the best of my knowledge, those are the outer, like those are your relational houses and your transpersonal houses.
Right.
I don't think I really have any Aries. Let me see. I don't have any Aries.
I don't either.
I don't have
Aries. I need
you
Aries.
Any,
to kick
you
me
need it. Exactly. I have a hard time starting anything.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Between we were just talking about different places. Channy has an app that Alyson told me about. It's great, and it will do your birth chart for you. Yes, that's who it is. And also Astro.com. I like Cafe Astrology. They all do it for free.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Taurus? My only Taurus is Ceres.
No Taurus, but I am drawn to Taurus people.
Yeah, I would like anchoring. The steadiness, like the salt of the earth, I think would definitely tie down our little fire and air balloon over here. I'm a Gemini, Virgo, so lots of Mercury. Oh my Lord. Are you a talker? Do you communicate for a living? I imagine there's a lot of list in your life. I mean, I'm a Virgo too, and I love list making. Oh my God.
And I love checking them off.
Oh my God.
I'll write things down that I've already done just so that I can check it off.
I love it. My husband's like, I have so many notebooks just because I have to have like my little list and my little chartings. I love it. Oh, keys. Oh, yes. Oh, hi. That's so I get from Gemini, Virgo, like communication. Oh, web developer. Oh, yeah. That's
I was going to say maybe written, like a writer or
perfect. Do you have any Gemini aside from our nodes?
Chiron.
Really?
We both have Chiron?
Mine is Chiron and Gemini too. So do we use our communication skills to heal our wounds and to heal others?
That's what I'm thinking. And that's why we put ourselves out there, even though we're not perfect, and someone can relate to it and learn from it.
And we're both in the healing arts as well, where we will talk to people to help them try to heal their person.
Yeah.
And what node is it? Is it south or north? I always forget. I always get my nodes mixed up. It's the one that faces with the two little circles down instead of the two little circles up. We're going there, right? It's the dragon's head, where we're going.
Right.
And the Sagittarius is the dragon's tail, where we came from.
Gemini is the north and Sag is the south.
That suits you so well, Keys. Perfect communication.
Oh, wow.
Let me see here. Oh, Cancer.
I wonder how Mercury retrograde is affecting that Mercury person.
Oh, Keys, how's your Mercury retrograde going? There's a lot of Mercury. It was technical communications. That's a lot of air too, or I mean, earth and air, which I would think. So fire and air tend to go together, and then earth and water. I have no idea. Oh,
well, just take it slow. I mean, like Mercury retrograde. Think of everything as a lesson. It is going to teach you something, and you'll learn from it. Take it slow. If you have to pause, pause.
Yeah. That's true. That's perfect advice, Alyson. And this is one of those times where it's just like, maybe not do the thing. Mm-hmm. If you're having a lot of things, unless you absolutely have to. If it's an urgent thing. But then double and triple check it.
Yeah.
Which with your Virgo, you probably already do that anyway.
Right. I mean, I bought a house during Mercury retrograde, and all the things went wrong, but it really came down to triple checking. And I mean, you just had to go with it. It ended up, you'll get there eventually. It's a slow process.
Oh boy. I don't think I have any Cancer either. Do you?
No.
Nope. I got a lot of Leo. How about you?
The Mars and Sun.
I have Vesta, Juno.
Oh, I don't have all those on here.
I looked up my asteroids when we started talking about them, so I was like, oh, I might as well look them up.
There's so many.
What sign? What was the question before? Was it about what sign? No, she wanted to know. You wanted to know what her Mars was, right?
Yeah. Who had the Leo? Was it?
Yeah, betwixt and between. She's almost our twin. So not many books that I found actually cover asteroids. This one does, but it was written in the 70s, so I don't think it's a very modern take. It's not bad, but it's kind of like I'm not going to say not inclusive because I did not get that idea at all. Just like not in the capacity that we just think of ourselves differently, 40 or 50 years later, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they don't even have the big ones that we think of. I had to look those up. I don't remember why I looked them up. Oh, here, Juno series.
Well,
because
he talks about Vesta and Lilith a lot.
Vesta and Lilith. So Lilith is our shame, and Vesta is our hold on, let me pull it up. Chiron is our healing and homemaking, holistic health, integrating our mind and body, intuition and instinct. It's the wounded healer. Ceres is our capacity for unconditional love and nurturing. Pallas Athena is creative wisdom and original perceptions. Vesta, is that the one we were talking about?
Yeah.
Integrate and focus our energies and experience wholeness of self. Sexual liberation, sexual fears, guilt, inadequacy, spiritual devotion, channeling, and kundalini. Which, well, it makes sense. She kind of goes with Lilith.
Mm-hmm.
Juno's relationships.
I meant to look this up before we started to get the exact, like when this happened.
So Gemini is in Mars.
Something really big a few years ago happened with Lilith. I can't remember. It was like some conjunction or some sort of aspect, and the Me Too movement happened like at that time.
It makes sense because we shouldn't. Me too. I feel like is reclaiming ourselves from that shame, because I feel like when that happens to you, there's a lot of shame and there's a lot of blaming you, and then you blame yourself, and then they blame you, and then it's just like a shit show of blame and shame on the wrong person. Because guess what? You put your body part where your body part wasn't welcome, and so that's your fault.
Yep.
That makes perfect sense. What do you think her Gemini is in Mars? She's got Gemini.
But she's got
a lot of Mercury. He should be your patron saint.
Right.
Or your patron deity. That's a lot of Mercury. I bet she has definitely a stellium in Gemini. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what house though. Is your Gemini your rising or your sun? Which one's your rising, the Gemini or the Virgo? Because that'll give us an idea where her houses are, right?
Right. Or was it Leo rising and Leo sun?
Maybe she did tell us. Let me go back. Hold on. She was a Leo rising. I'm thinking of Keys was Gemini, Virgo. Betwixt is the Leo rising. You're right. Leo. So she's got 2 there. Leo would be 1. That's got to be in her transpersonal planets on the upper half of her thing.
Well, Leo sun with a Mars and Gemini might be, like I was saying, I'm a Leo sun with Leo Mars, where I have to yell a lot. I could see maybe a Gemini Mars Leo sun yelling a lot as well.
That's right, Betwixt. We figured it out. You're right. It's you, Leo rising. You're Leo, Virgo. The count. Libra. Her 11th house. Mars would be in her 11th house, would be Gemini. We did the whole sign system. I don't know what it would be Placidus, because that one always.
Well, that's community. So you would be taking in the whole, both sides of the argument.
Mm-hmm. You could probably talk circles around people. Do you win a lot of your arguments betwixt and between?
Or you get people to think that you're on their side, and then you're like, but I'm right.
Great, so we agree now.
Right?
Okay, hold on. I've got a question. Unapologetic Ella. What spell to get rid of a clingy narc boyfriend? So I don't know if we're really doing spell work right now. I would say probably have a conversation with him about not doing that would be my first step. I always say practical things first, and then if practical fails, then I would rely on magical means. She's a Gemini.
This would be the time period to do something like that, though, because the moon is waning.
She's saying, can I send a relationship during retrograde? Which I'm thinking she means either start or end. And yeah, retrograde's a great time for retrograde.
With retrogrades, I just feel like it will take longer. You have to check everything multiple times, or over explain yourself, over communicate, because you're worried about, you're asking them to go and they're like, oh, you said stay? Because communication is just so off right now.
And kind of like really gauge how you're feeling about that too, because in a couple days, the Venus is going to go into Cancer, and Venus in Cancer is a lot more of a lovey feeling. So you may change your mind
Right. Yeah.
pretty quickly here. It's a time for like really nurturing and loving, and a really good vibe for Venus. Part of the problem too is that Mars is also in Cancer, and Mars is not do well in Cancer. In my opinion, and I feel like it makes barely a lot of passive aggressive bullshit
Yeah.
because he's still got that Mars attitude, except for he's constrained by the water. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense
Yeah.
here?
Well, you probably just let people wash over you, and you never actually get your feelings out and heard.
But it's going to change soon. Mars is going to be changing. But another thing too, when Mars and Venus are in the same sign, that also changes the dynamic as well.
And that's why I call myself an amateur astrologer, because there's just so many things.
There are so many things. I'm an amateur too. I just like, I will remember little facts and things. But when it comes to actually looking, although we're good at Mercury retrograde, because if my husband and I fight, I always be like, wait a minute, what? Are we hungry? Are we tired? Where's the planets? We typically don't.
Well, I mean, that's even how I started like really diving into astrology and the moon phases specifically, was because I would get in these moods and I'm like, where is this coming from? Why do I feel like this? Like, it's just, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm got a roof over my head, my bills are paid. Like, why am I sad, depressed, anxious, angry, whatever? And every time I would just start tracking, like anytime I felt sad, depressed, or emotional, I'd write it down, and then I'd check, and it would be when the moon was in Scorpio, or it would be a dark moon, so it just kind of helped me realize, wait, I'm feeling this way because of something outside of myself, and really being able to just let it go and figure it out.
I love that. That's a wonderful example of how astrology really can be used to better understand yourself and to better harness your energy and the energies around you to get the things that you want done and to feel the way you want to feel. And you talk about it in your planners, like, I know that these things affect me, and so I plan for this accordingly. And that's why she has a place for you to chart your feelings as well, and your cycle phase, so that you can kind of be like, oh man, that day was such a hard day. What was going on? And you could look at it and be like, oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
And so again, just a quick reminder, this.
And even tracking things like food is a good, like, oh wow, I get angry after I have a bowl of ice cream. Why is that?
Or bloated, yeah. Oh, and I just want to reiterate it for anybody who came in towards the end. That's Alyson's planner. I'm giving one away. There's a coupon code on the bottom. You have to like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels. Her channel is in the link, and of course, this is my channel. What is your favorite? So we're gonna transition into resources, but I want to know, what is your favorite thing about astrology? Both what do you love about it and what do you like to learn about?
What I love about it is it really validates like how I was feeling, or how I feel about myself, and figuring and learning astrology, I learn more about myself, and it just helps me. It makes me feel better. As someone who does suffer from anxiety and depression, it makes me feel good to learn about astrology. And what I'm learning next are the transits. I really want to be able to look at a day, like look at the chart for the day and be like, oh, this is how my day is going to go. To understand it.
I definitely feel called to learn those too, just because I want to know how it's going to affect me personally. Or my husband, because he's also here all the time. So if he's going to be having a bad day, I'm going to be like, baby him.
Watch out.
But I love that. And that's how, like, we're star twins for sure, because I also like it as a tool in my toolbox to understand myself, to nurture myself, to make the most of myself.
Astrology pulled me out of depression holes so many times.
Yes, that sounds wonderful. I mean, that it helps you, not that you had depression holes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Kind of, unfortunately, with depression, you kind of, in my opinion, I feel like if you don't kind of know your signs that you're slipping into one to prevent a full-blown dive, because once I dive, it's over. I'm not good at pulling myself out of there.
With the moon phases, if you allow yourself to have that day where you're gonna wallow, but then just tell yourself you're gonna pick yourself back up and start over tomorrow. That's what the moon phase does for me. It's like, okay, it's the dark moon. You can rest, you can hibernate, you can cry, you can eat a bowl of ice cream and snuggle by yourself with your teddy bears. But tomorrow you're getting your ass up and you're moving.
I love that. Give yourself space. Give yourself space to rest and to feel. Yes, keys of Hecate. Yes, absolutely. I love to journal and reflect and to look back. I know people insult everything. I don't know. Like I have no idea how somebody like really enjoying astrology affects your life whatsoever. Like, why can't you just let people be happy, you Grinch? Do you have any resources you recommend?
I can't talk about Chani enough.
I love it. Yeah.
But just for example, so this is the chart that she gives you, and there's all this information that comes with it. But then this is what like a regular chart looks like. I think it's just, this is so much easier to read if you're starting out. When you look at this, it's like, oh gosh, I can't do this. I don't understand this. But this is like, oh, okay, I can figure it out.
Exactly. And this is her book that Chani also wrote a book. And it's really talking about what we've been talking about and what you pointed out, Keys of Hecate. It's just like how to like really take care of yourself through the tool of astrology. Like it's about self-acceptance. But also I'd like the psychological aspect of it.
She also feels like a cheerleader. Like she wants you to succeed. She wants you to figure it out, and she wants you to be your best and live your life to the fullest.
What other tools do you use for your?
Most recently, because I'm such an advocate for self-care, is this book has been, and all my clients are like, "Ooh, tell me what should I be doing for my?" So I'm thinking about putting astrology into my massage practice so that people can understand.
Hi, Amber.
How to take care of themselves.
I love that. How would you, so you would find out your person's sign and kind of just give them a little pep talk about like things they can do for themselves, or?
Just having it be like an add-on to, hey, you want to explore your birth chart? Let's see what, and it's interesting that some signs specifically do like and benefit from massage more than others, because an Aries doesn't want to sit on the table for an hour. So
Taurus probably does.
A Taurus does. And a lot of my clients are Taurus. And they're the ones that stick to it. They stick to that routine. So helping an Aries figure out how to relax enough so that they can actually lay on the table for an hour, is that book's been really helpful for that. And Aries need to burn all their energy out. So doing like a workout before I come over, or like going for a run, doing something physically active so that they're just ready to crash onto the table and relax. Hi, Amber. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, same. So Amber, just to catch you up, we are talking about Alyson's planner, Just a Face planner, which you're part of the group, so you're familiar with it. But what's nice is that I'm giving away a copy to anybody who likes, or not to anybody, to one person. You have to like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels. Her channel is in the comments, and I'll put it in the description afterwards. And it's a planner with some little extras that are really sweet. And also, for those who don't win the planner, there's a code on the bottom here. That says that's a code for you to get a discount, and somebody is going to win some beautiful candles.
Yeah. And
I love that blue.
They're made from beeswax, and they have a hemp wick, and they just burn really great.
That's wonderful. They look really pretty. The colors are really vibrant. Good vibes. What else? What other things? We talked already about the Moon app. Where do you get your planetary overview? Just from Chani, or like where the planets are right now?
Where the planets are right now, I do time passages.
Oh, nice.
I think it is a pay app. It's not a free app.
Oh, I see.
I had a gift certificate or a gift card, and I splurged on it. I think it was like $20.
Oh,
it's worth it. You can. I mean, I have all my friends' charts, all my family's charts. You can save charts on there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's worth it, and it was a gift card. It was like a splurge.
That's wonderful. Time passages.
Yeah, and I think that they have a bigger chart generator program that's like really expensive, but I think that they have one as well. Because we were talking about getting an astrology program.
Oh, cool. Is your husband into it too? Your partner?
No, not really. I just tell him things. I'm like, you're doing this because of this. And he's like,
I do. I tell my husband too. He's like, I have a ton of books. I haven't read all of them, but I definitely, one thing that I highly recommend, going along with everything we talked about, is Astrology for Yourself. It's basically psychological astrology.
Yeah, I definitely want to get that one.
And the other one we were talking about earlier, the first one I actually ever bought when I was 18 years old was The Only Astrology Book You'll Ever Need. This is not the original. The original did not make it the whole time. This is still this one's still not 18.
Well, now that you mention it, the original came with a
CD-ROM.
Yep. Could you generate charts on it, or?
Yeah, but it never worked for me on my computer. I have no idea. Like, I was never able to use it. It's a great one though. And I have, if you go to my book reviews, I have a ton of book reviews. The other one that I really like for right now, The Stars Within You. That one also is really good. Julianne McCarthy. I think she's going to have another one. Something on my wish list for astrology, though, is, have you seen that book, The House Your Stars Built? And it's all about your houses specifically.
Oh, no.
I think that's really interesting because one of the things, we've talked earlier when we were privately talking, is about how astrology is fairly easy to learn, but very few people actually master it. Most of us are on different levels of intermediacy. But one of the major building blocks is houses, zodiac signs, planets, houses. Then we have your aspects. And then if you want to get really advanced, we have all of our transits. And those are just so many moving pieces all at once. But when you're doing psychological, you don't really look too bad at the transits just yet. I think that when you're getting to know yourself, you're really just looking at, what is my sign? What is my planet? Where is it located? I think is good starting point. What do you think? How do you like your aspects?
Well, as far as houses goes, once you get familiar with the 12 zodiac signs and using those keywords that like unlock something for you, once you know that, knowing that the first house is Aries, and going through, and even just looking at the first house as seasonally, as the first house being spring and then the 12th house being winter, that kind of helps me at least vaguely remember, because I don't know everything about the 8th house, but I understand that If I just follow Aries and count, like we did earlier, it's a little, you can like grasp it a little bit without having to like go too deep.
For sure. So let's see. Scorpio, right?
Yeah.
Death and rebirth, legacies, inheritance. But also, I love your season thing. So let me see. It would be in the fall. So like Halloween, Dia de Muertos.
Mm-hmm.
Your first 3 would be spring. Your second 3 would be summer.
Yeah.
Then Scorpio's definitely there in the fall. Capricorn is, solstice, winter solstice, right? So that's definitely a winter one.
Yeah.
But also, you think of the father.
You could even look at it as like quarters: spring, summer, fall, winter.
Mm-hmm.
And the clock.
Very interesting. I hadn't thought about that, but now I can't unthink it. Thanks. No.
Well, I mean, I do have a cheat sheet with all of the houses, but
oh, nice! I love that.
But it took making that little cheat sheet to be like, oh, this just follows the wheel of the year, basically.
Yeah.
That like makes so much more sense to me.
Oh, I do have one more recommendation, but that was something else that Alyson and I were talking about privately, is about how much astrology bleeds into other aspects of spirituality and paganism and metaphysical practice that we just don't appreciate. Like your tarot cards all have astrological correspondences. It's very heavy in elemental work, the wheel of the year. So this one kind of covers like magical astrology. It goes over how it intersects with different magical concepts, which we talked about a little bit before. And some of them you're familiar with if you read the book from The Only Astrology Book You'll Ever Need. Just like astrology in your body, like what part rules what area, right? And then astrology in the chakras and so on and so forth. I found it interesting in that respect, because you kind of take for granted, people are like, oh, astrology is dumb, but it really was the basis for astrology and astronomy were synonymous for thousands of years. So all of the things we know about space and science really do stem from something you think is ridiculous. We don't think of it that way anymore, but it was really important. And it does bleed into other practices.
I've been trying to make an association with the houses and the chakras, but you can only do that for the first 7, really.
Yeah. But then again, if you think about classical astrology, there was only 7 planets.
Oh.
So you might just have to do it classical style.
Yeah, maybe I'll try that.
And then, of course, we have our elements, which are the major. So when you break down also your astrological parts that make a zodiac sign, so your polarity, your modality, and your element, they really do make building blocks for a lot of different things that we talk about magically. Yeah. So your polarity is like, are you a directive or receptive, masculine or feminine, which has fallen out of favor, but basically however you identify that. And then, of course, your elements.
The elements, I mean, that for me was, because, I mean, we all, like, the elements are just so easy to grasp, like earth, air, fire, water. And then associating a sign to each element, it's like, it's like all these pieces that just come together.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you ever do, well, of course you do, because you put them in your book. I was going to say, do you ever do rituals with astrology? But of course you do. I guess what are some of your favorite things?
Favorite rituals?
Yeah.
Well, I need to steal the one that you were talking in the beginning about sealing a new moon intention and then opening it 6 months later or whatever it is.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, just really starting basic, lighting a candle, taking the time to just sit there. And I also like doing fun, silly things, like just wearing the color for the day that is associated with that zodiac sign.
That's wonderful. Hi, Summer. That's actually color magic is really important, not just to Western spirituality, but really important in Eastern spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know your Chinese zodiac?
Oh gosh.
I'd be interested to see if we match up there.
For some reason, my husband is a rat, and I don't know why. Oh, I think I'm a boar. I don't know why his came to mind.
I'm a rat, and my husband's an ox.
Oh yeah, because you're 84.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 84 as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we'd be different there. Which I find interesting because if you think about it, the Chinese zodiac is on a 12-year cycle, which is the same cycle as Jupiter, a 12-year Jupiter cycle.
Oh, yeah.
So usually we consider it very beneficial when your Jupiter sign comes back, when you have your Jupiter return, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Chinese astrology, they don't.
Oh,
it's bad luck year.
Is that this year for you?
No, it's my husband's Jupiter return.
Okay.
Yeah, it was last year. But so it's kind of competitive views though, because in Western astrology, your Jupiter return's really lucky for you. Mm-hmm. But in Chinese astrology, your return to your original sign means that you cheated death. And so he makes extra special attention to you that year. Uh-oh. And not the best way. Team rat, yay. Hi, honey.
Oh, tiger cat.
Tiger cat, wow. Tiger's a good one. Rat technically is the first sign of the zodiac because they cheated. It would have been ox. Have you heard of that story?
No.
Buddha made this competition with all the animals that if the first 12 animals to come would be in the zodiac in their astrology, and all the animals, one animal fell asleep and didn't participate, but all these animals were going, and at the very end there's like this, ox was in the lead. The very end there was like this river that they had to ford, and ox and rat are really close friends, so rat's like, hey, please help me out. And so he climbs up on ox's shoulder, and when they get across, he jumps off his shoulder and he crosses the finish line first because he's a jerk that way, but it definitely suits me. My husband is the ox, but they're actual like really closely bonded in Chinese astrology. They're really close signs.
Interesting.
They're the most
with it being the first sign in the Chinese zodiac, would that be like your Aries sign that you need?
Because I have no Aries in my in my Western astrology. Yes, they are. I'm a wood rat, and my husband's a wood ox, and my son is a wood horse.
How do you know the element?
It's on a 60-year cycle. What was your year of birth?
83.
83, that's what I thought, but I wanted to double check. So you're a boar. And boars are really like happy, honesty, wealth, family fortune, abundance. It's a good omen. Pure spirit, diligent, calm, understanding, gallant. So a 1983 piggy is a water pig. Dreamy nature, creative, artistic, doesn't mind financial insecurity as long as it can express his creativity and be allowed in peace to dream. Very sensitive, romantic, caring, emotional. They love travel. They love to tell tales. He's not ambitious, but very sensuous and prone to overindulge himself.
The element cycle is 60 years, you said?
Yeah, so it'll cycle through each animal 5 times. So there's 12 animals, and then the next cycle, all the animals will be a different sign, and they have 5 signs. So it's 12 times 5 is 60. Okay. So there won't be another wood rat for 60 years after I was born.
Okay.
And there won't be another water pig for 60 years until. So you'll be 60 when it comes back to that. When you have your full return. I'm trying to find tiger. We had a tiger. Water tiger. Water tiger. The water tiger will gain a reputation for honest dealings in business and fickleness in love. Born businessman, resourceful, ambitious, persuasive, difficulty ending situations and moving on, so old problems often return to his life at inconvenient moments. It's in particular danger when he begins a relationship without ending his previous relationship. Oh my God.
Oh, fire rat.
Yeah, there is yang water and yang water. So like there's yin and yang wood and there's yin and yang water. So they do have, this is actually a really good little glimpse book, but there's really good free stuff. So like your wood, so it goes deeper. So your wood might be a fire or might be a yang, which would be more of an oak, or it might be a willow. If it's a yin. It's really interesting. I would definitely check it out. So like, let's see, for water, your water might be a yang, which is a river, versus a yin, which is a fishing net. So like a receptacle.
Oh, right.
I think it's pretty interesting. Let me see.
Yeah, I have 2 Chinese medicine books, but I don't think it goes into astrology at all. So that's fascinating.
Fire rat is fast, witty, often caustic tongue, crusader by nature, and never happier than when fighting tooth and nail for a worthy cause. Motivated by very strong ideals and possesses an honorable character. Longs for excitement and revels in life's dramas. However, when life is dull, the rat is bored and despondent. Oh, man. I'm sorry. What year were you born, Summer? Let me look. Hecate. Oh, Fire Rabbit. There is a really good website, and they do it all for free. It's just I would definitely Google it, like your sign. So you could Google water bore, and it would bring up more information. I'm trying to find like how I would know if you're a yin or a yang.
Yeah, I wonder what that is based on. Maybe seasonally?
Maybe. I think it's, let me see. Let me try to figure it out really quick. Oh, 1982. So you're probably, what month, Summer? Like March, after March? Because you're probably a dog. 1982 is the year of the dog. And it is a water dog. Make friends easily, attractive, amusing, charming, sympathetic, good listener, intuitive understanding of human nature, has a lot of empathy, loves travel, meeting new people, doing fascinating things. Too restless to settle down early in life, but later will adore his family. He makes influential friends. Ooh, January. No, so then you're the year before. You're not a water dog. You're a rooster. A metal rooster. More abrasive than other types. Idealistic, hardworking, determined. Sharp tongues, considered difficult and moody. If ever a spokesman were needed, the metal rooster is the perfect candidate. Capable of tying his opposition into knots by his skilled and eloquent arguments. Sounds like an Aries. An Aries and Gemini. Spiced with some devastating observation. There's no chance of him giving up until he's won. I had a rooster like that in real life.
Well, aren't they all like that though? Roosters?
I have had some sweet ones. I actually have one right now, Alyson. He's a sultana, and so I actually don't like him at all because he's not very good protector. He's like just a pretty one. Aww. But before he mates with the girls, he dances for them. And then so he doesn't have to assault them like the other roosters do. They just kind of squat down for him.
That's a lesson.
I know. It's really cute. Oh, Summer. This is Alyson's planner that she created, the Just a Phase planner. What we're doing today is we had interviewed her. We compared our star charts because we're star twins, and then we started talking about astrology. But this is up for grabs. I bought an extra copy. I am giving it away. Like, comment, subscribe to both of our channels. Her channel is in the comments, and I'm going to leave it in the description. And then the banner on the bottom has a code to use if you just want to go to her website and purchase it. So definitely check that out. Oh, and there's a chance to win a prize there as well. Some
yes. If you use the coupon code, I'll pick one person that gets a whole candle set that has a candle corresponding to every new and full moon for the rest of the year.
Oh, that's nice.
So that will come with.
You got your SBATs lined out at that point.
Yep. No excuse after that.
Well, we could always come up with excuses. There's some pretty creative signs out there. Is it getting, how's your, like, how is it over there? It's still kind of yucky?
Weather-wise, or I think the sun finally did come out, but it's still, I mean, going from 90 to 60 is like, it's freezing.
Yeah, it's freezing. Hey, Sachi has a question for you. Can you check it out? Thank you, guys.
Let me see. Sachi, what's your name? Or what name did you order from? Okay, yep, you're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. I feel like I got carried away talking, Alyson. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I knew when I was getting ready for this, I was like, we could talk forever. And we obviously like all the same things, so we really could talk forever. Even astrology aside, I think.
I do like astrology. So I definitely feel like there's an infinite amount of things to talk about in this arena. And maybe we should gauge people's interests, like via poll or something on our respective media, about like if we did a series, like what would people want to chat about? Or it's up to you. I don't know.
Oh, I would love that. I mean, I could talk about this all day, and it'd be great to hear what people are interested in talking about.
Yeah, I think some concepts with astrology tend to be very hard to kind of, especially if you're not super familiar or if it's not something that you dedicate time to keeping up with, it can be hard to integrate into your day-to-day. I feel like some of the, especially for me, transits and aspects,
are
not the easiest to integrate into my day-to-day or really into my psychological journaling about astrology. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm learning the transit, so I mean, the only thing I do is when like looking at really big astrological events that we know are coming up, which is sometimes you still have to take the time to search for it. And then I'm like, okay, I know that this is happening and might affect me because of this. Is when I that's as far as I go, and that's still a lot of digging and researching.
It is. It can be challenging, huh?
I mean, I'm answering the questions, and I mean, if there's anything that you like, look at your chart. I mean, I encourage everybody to just have your chart printed. There's so many free books that we mentioned, and if you're just looking at it and you're just like, what? Like, maybe just we could help people understand their chart better.
Oh, I like that. Or you know what might be a good episode? Like, oh, I don't feel like this part of my chart represents me. And then
Yes.
we can, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like we talked about right in the beginning. Like,
Yeah, because first reading about your sun sign, it's just like I don't relate to that at all, but it's something that you're growing into.
and you might not really ever super relate to it because you are the sum of many, many parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
And
may be, oh, go ahead.
sometimes if we think we don't relate to it, it's because it's an aspect of ourselves that we don't like.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah. Self-reflection can be painful.
Yep.
I also think that it can represent like a facet of ourselves that we don't necessarily identify with right away. So like you may be like a massage therapist, but you don't think of that as the entirety of your personality, right?
Right.
Or you may be a mom, or you may be a woman in Western society, or maybe Puerto Rican, or you may be whatever, whatever, whatever. And those are all facets of us that make us into a unique human being. But you may disagree about what weight that aspect has in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting. I would love to think about that. And I know that astrology is related to different jobs too, which is kind of vocational astrology.
Yeah, when I was trying, I went down this rabbit hole trying to see like how common it is for people to have such similar charts. I came across this study called the Mars the Mars effect that somebody did in 1955. It was a French scientist, and he somehow what got me lost was I didn't understand what the aspects were that he was saying, but it was basically Mars placement, or this specific Mars placement. A lot of athletes have that placement.
Mm.
And then he did break down like other jobs like actress, scientist, writer. But I guess the data just wasn't, it was so like all over the place that it didn't really get accredited for having that much. And I'm like, in 1955, we know so much more now about astrology.
Yeah.
Like, somebody should do it again.
And it'd probably be easier because I'm sure that places that give you free charts like Cafe Astrology and Astro and Chani are not just throwing those away.
Right. And just so many, we have so much history and birth data from people who have passed, so we can look at their entire life and look at their chart and see like all these different aspects make sense.
That's really cool. Oh, betwixt and between, that's awesome. So guys, don't forget to please, also she has a really nice Facebook page where she does card draws on the weekly and has little stuff coming up, and she has a YouTube page as well with content, and also Instagram, and all of those things are in the chat. But after this is processed, because it takes a little bit to process onto YouTube, I'll add the links in the description below. I'm going to try to have the winner calculated in the next day or so, to give people who couldn't make this chat a chance to catch up. And if you guys like, oh, perfect. If you guys like, would like to see collabs, or you would like to see specific topics discussed, like maybe not like just an astrology chat, an interactive one where we would also look at your chart with our resources, might be fun. Let us know if that's interesting to you. But I can hear my kids stomping around. So it means it's time for me to get going. But Alyson, is there anything else you want to share or for us to know? Because I feel like I talked way too much for an interview.
Oh, no, I mean, this was so much fun, and thank you so much for having me on here. I really like I feel like I'm talking to a best friend or something.
Oh, wonderful.
Really, and thank you everybody for coming and watching, and thank you for purchasing the planner. I'll sneak some little goodies in there for you, and I really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, I'm Brandy. This is Hound Dog Hollow. We had the lovely Alyson from Just a Phase Planner, but also the other media that we talked about. I'll share again. I'll share. I promise, so that you can so that you can follow as well. Here with us today, we will be doing a giveaway. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels. I need to see that you're subscribed. So if you are privately subscribed or you have your subscriptions private, send me a message. But most of you guys I recognize. There's no strangers here. And golly, I think that's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. This was wonderful. Yes, thank you. We love compliments. We're Leos. Okay, so I'm going to end the broadcast. Have a nice day.